Good morning and salam ibu pertiwiku. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un oversaw the test firing of a new weapon again on Friday morning. South Korea's military said North Korea launched at least 2 short-range ballistic missiles on Friday, a 6th round of weapons launches since late July. The U.S. State Department said Stephen Biegun, the U.S. Special Envoy for North Korea, will travel to Japan and South Korea next week to coordinate efforts to secure the denuclearization of North Korea. The North has protested against joint U.S.-South Korea military drills, which kicked off last week, calling them a rehearsal for war. An official at Seoul's defense ministry said on Friday that there was a possibility that North fired the same type of missiles it used on August 10, which Pyongyang also called a new weapon at that time. U.S. President Donald Trump and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau have been discussing the Hong Kong protests and the ongoing detention of 2 Canadians by the Chinese government. A statement from Trudeau's office said the 2 leaders discussed relations with China, including the continued arbitrary detention of 2 Canadians and ongoing developments in Hong Kong. China detained 2 Canadian men shortly after police arrested Huawei Technologies co-chief financial officer Meng Wanzhou on a U.S. warrant in Vancouver in December. Canada's dispute with China has been a nagging headache for Trudeau, and there have been no signs that it will go away before the October national election. Further mass demonstrations in Hong Kong are expected over the weekend. China has likened the increasingly violent protests to terrorism and warned it could use force to quell them. Trump has urged Chinese President Xi Jinping to meet protesters to defuse the tension. A U.S. court has issued a warrant for the seizure of an Iranian tanker that British Royal Marines had seized last month in Gibraltar. U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia Jesse Liu said in a news release the oil tanker Grace 1, the more than 2 million barrels of oil it carries, and $995,000 US are subject to forfeiture based on a complaint by the U.S. government. The tanker was seized by British Royal Marines at the western mouth of the Mediterranean on July 4th on suspicion of violating European Union sanctions by taking oil to Syria, a close ally of Iran. Washington had attempted to detain the Grace 1 on the grounds that it had links to Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, which it has designated a terrorist organization. Gibraltar lifted the tanker's detention order on Thursday, but the vessel's fate was further complicated by a last-ditch U.S. legal appeal to hold it. The tanker shifted its position on Friday, but its anchor was still down off Gibraltar, and it was unclear if it was ready to set sail soon. Well, that's all the news updates for now. I am Razi Ahmad. Stay tuned for more, and thank you for watching.